I think it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Hey guys, so Jess and Alex here. We wanted to answer a few questions. We have like a new change in what we're doing. And so we just wanted to give you guys a little bit of info and kind of show you what we're doing. First thing, what are we living in? For you guys that don't know, go ahead.
We're in a what 20-foot trailer. It's a Coachman Clipper and
It's a 2022.
2022.
I'm driving a 2004 Dodge Ram 1500 with a towing capacity and a locking fiberglass tonneau cover.
She's very proud of.
Yeah, we are. We have. You can't even feel the RV behind it, and we have a sway bar system that's rated for bigger than our RV, and so we don't have to worry about having any issues on the road. It doesn't sway, doesn't do anything. It's perfect.
I'm driving a 2002 Suzuki Grand Vitara. If you don't know what it is, because there's not very many in the US, it's kind of like an older RAV4, but smaller. But it's been doing great on gas mileage and gets us around when we're in town instead of driving the truck everywhere.
So, where are we working? We just got a job. We're going to be working for Mount Baker Hospitality. And it's going to be a job where we do camp hosting. It's like cleaning bathrooms, doing placards for the camping spots, and selling firewood, helping with check-in.
Check out.
Exactly. Reservations. I think we do a little bit of accounting because we have to send in like our
payments.
Yes.
Yep.
And then next one we got is how did we get it? So there's two ways that we have found to get it. So you can tell them the camp one.
So we were told about a website called Work Camper, and essentially you pay a yearly membership fee, and you can see all sorts of different job postings for companies that cater to those that are traveling. So oftentimes it is working at a campground, but it could also be working at a local gift shop. I know Amazon usually will hop on there for seasonal stuff like that, just local jobs. And each of the businesses that post on there also have to pay a membership. So you know you're not going to get scammed by someone because it's not worth their time to pay to scam. So that's one way we have started looking for jobs. You throw in all the information for a resume and it puts it all together for you. It'll have you upload pictures so that prospective employers can look at who you are. They can see what you're hauling so they know whether it's going to fit their sites. And then if you have pets, they get to see the pets and kind of verify, okay, this is going to be a decent dog or cat or whatever.
And this one's good because it's basically like Indeed and Labor Ready. If anybody knows where that is, you just pick up the jobs as you go. The contracts are what they offer you, but you can leave when you're ready. You can let them know like, hey, I'm ready to move on to this new spot. And with that website, you can ask for specific areas that you're looking in, and it'll specifically show you those areas, the work that's open. And if anybody didn't catch it, it's Work Campers, one word, but no C. It's just Work Ampers kind of thing. And then it's about $47 a year, I believe, to keep it up. But you get a 3-month,
30-day free trial.
30-day free trial, which is what we used, and we found a job before then.
Yep.
The second way that we used, I went online and I looked at Indeed, and I looked for camp host jobs, and that's how we found Mount Baker. And we had applied for Mount Baker, and they were going to send us to Mount Rainier, and then last minute they were like, nope, you guys can have Mount Baker. And so we get to leave Monday to go do that. So our next one is, what do we get paid, or what are our benefits? We don't want to say, so big thing is like, they could pay you anywhere from $5 stipends a day to like $70 an hour, $20. It all depends on the contract that they're offering. Majority of them, though, because they know that you travel, they offer for like our contract and a lot of the ones we saw, you get your spot paid for, you get your electricity, your sewer, Wi-Fi, you get those things paid for, water paid for, and then along with that, some employees offer or employers offer like compensation for doing laundry.
Yeah, you'll get like an allowance to use for the laundry rooms.
If you're doing a job where you're cooking, they might offer free lunch as a compensation. It all depends. And for ours, we get an hourly wage at the one we're going to, but we also get our spot taken care of so that we're not literally our only bills we have to pay is we have our own Wi-Fi, and then we have like our cell phones, our storage unit with our stuff
Paying
from when
on
we
the
sold our
trailer.
house, paying on the trailer, and then gas, that kind of thing, insurance. But you don't have to pay for where you're living. So that's the big benefit there.
No rent.
No rent. So for anybody that's curious about Neva, so Neva's doing good. She's still learning to not bark at everybody. She's a blue heeler, so she barks at everyone.
Gotten better. It's more of a growl most of the time now.
Yeah, she just kind of grunts, and then sometimes she does this really girly whine that I've never heard her do before.
Huff too.
She'll huff. That's the big one. But she'll run up to people. She's always on a leash, but she'll try to run up to them barking like she's aggressive. But you can see her tail going like a helicopter, and it's just the blue heeler way. So as soon as we explain to people what that is, and they finally walk up and they say hi to her, they're like, "Oh my God, your dog's beautiful." Exercise.
We've been finding we're actually going on walks a lot more. We're not doing a whole bunch of exercise, but especially once we start this camp hosting job, we're going to be walking a lot more around the campground, just checking on everyone. We will get a golf cart, though. So.
With flames on it.
No, we can't put flames on it.
Whatever.
But we are starting to do a little bit more exercising, taking Neva out on walks and going around and seeing the areas.
So also eating habits. We can store a lot of dry foods under our settee, cans and pastas. A big thing that I learned from watching boaters and sailors is when they buy their groceries, they will immediately take them out of the boxes and out of the packaging, and they'll do their own packaging. So like meats, as soon as you get them, you vacuum seal them. Vacuum sealing is amazing, especially since RV fridges and freezers don't work like normal ones. So sometimes the back is super frozen and the front is like defrosted in the freezer.
That's what ours does.
Exactly. So we vacuum seal, and then like pastas, we'll take the instructions, and then we'll put the pasta, we'll put the packages of seasonings and the instructions in a Ziploc bag so that we get more room for everything. A lot of like, if you guys have a Winco near you, flour, sugar, all of those things out of those barrels.
The bulks are really good.
Bulks are amazing. They're cheap. We've actually priced them out, and for the same size, you're doing essentially like anywhere from $1 to like $5 difference just going to Winco and doing the bulk. And then let's see, and then as far as freezer and fridge, instead of like being able to shop for a month's worth of food and just kind of go through it and plan out your meals, you're essentially buying food every week, if not bi-weekly, because you don't have room. So like we can get a pack of chicken, a couple things of ground beef, and then like half a pork loin, and cut it up into steaks and package those. And once we do that, and then also sausage, bacon, gotta have bacon.
Gotta have bacon.
After that, you're pretty much living off of that little amount, and then you got to go shopping again already. It allows us to have fresher food. Not to mention, when we go get like groceries, like produce, we can use more fresh produce, potatoes, stuff like that, and we know that we're using them because we're grabbing small amounts, so we're not wasting. And then we also have a list where we can do kind of an inventory. So when we finish something, we can just write it down and make sure we get it on the next one.
Yep.
And then just to kind of like fall back. With the work campers too, we did a resume that was together. And it wasn't like a normal resume. The way they had made us do a resume, it was really nice. So it essentially said what our goals are and what we're looking for in the beginning. The second is just a weird, like real quick description of like what we're capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the next section, we basically go her and then me, and we just say like for instance, mine was forklift, and then right next to it, just write, hey, I did forklift at the lumber mill
Had
for so
this-
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it kind of gives skills and just a quick description of where you got them. And then at the bottom, you basically do your closing and you just say, we really appreciate your time, that kind of stuff. It's a really nice way. And then at the top, we have 3 pictures. Big thing with work campers is they want to know what you're driving and what you're using, because a lot of these places have like a 10-year rule, which hopefully eventually, if a trailer looks nice, they'll get rid of that rule. We're really hoping for it, because an RV costs a lot, and for you to have to change it out in 10 years, if it's still in good condition, why? So we do a picture of both our vehicles and the RV all next to each other, so they can see how nice everything looks. A picture of us two, and then we also have a picture of Neva, so they know that our dog goes with us. That dog is part of the family in this RV.
And a lot of sites we've noticed are very open to having pets. Most of them are campsites. It's not often you come across one that you can't have pets whatsoever. So they've been pretty open with it. And we have noticed that actually there's a lot more job postings than we thought that are for couples. They know people are going to be traveling together. And so there's a lot of offerings specifically for couples.
Even the one that we were supposedly going to go to and it just kind of stopped. If we did the one over at Mount Rainier, it was a solo position, but they were processing us both so that we could work together. So if I wanted to take a day off, or I just wanted her to go out to do the reservations for the day,
I would do all the work that day.
Exactly, and then I could come in later, and like she could be there for checkouts, and then I could come in and do the few hours for check-ins, and you essentially work 7 days a week, and you're just there for that, doing firewood, and then answering questions, cleaning bathrooms, and so the way we were explained to is you don't actually do 40 hours a week a piece. You essentially get paid for that either way, though. As you can finish all the duties and be there when the campers need you, and do less than 40 hours, you're still getting paid for 40 hours,
yep.
Which is really nice because it gives us
more freedom.
Exactly. And when the holidays come along and we know we're going to be doing that 40 hours, they don't let you go over it too. So that's a big thing. But yeah, they were going to let us work together on the same 40 hours. But where we're going now, we each are getting 40 hours a week.
Because it is a couple position.
Yeah, and there's multiple. I think this one's big enough. I think they said there's multiple couples at this one. So we'll be hosting with other people. Excuse me. And then I think that's pretty much it. We'll try to post more videos. We did get a nice little GoPro, so we're gonna try to videotape our trip to Mount Baker. We might leave early and kind of do a cut through Leavenworth, so that we can stop, because that's like our favorite vacation spot. So we're probably gonna stop there and do that, and then move on. Also, just a quick thing: Wi-Fi. So the two the two we were recommended was T-Mobile and Starlink. Well, Starlink, I have heard really good things about Starlink. But the problem is, it's like if you're doing this just out of nowhere and you don't have money, like we were able to sell our house. We have something in savings. But for people that don't, we're going to be real with you. It's expensive. So Starlink is it's like $500 and something to get the equipment, and then you're looking at like you have to get a mobile one. You can't use home, you can't use the Merchant Mariner one unless you're on the ocean, and you have to use the RV one if you're traveling. So when you do the RV one, it's like you're looking at like 150 something. I think it was for unlimited internet.
$156 a month, I think it was,
exactly.
And then $500 for the equipment.
Now we went for T-Mobile. Now T-Mobile we didn't pay for the equipment. It's in in the deal,
Mhm.
we did not have to start any phone lines because our phones are both separate companies and they are not T-Mobile.
Nope.
So we were able to start a line just for the internet.
Mhm.
And I think it's $65 a month. We get unlimited, doesn't slow down, unlimited internet. They have one that's bigger. It's like 75 and you get
Faster speeds.
super speeds for gamers. And unlimited, I think it's like 24-hour IT support.
Something like that.
Something like that. But the equipment's simple. You just plug it in and it hooks to any 5G networks that are in the area.
Mhm.
And so as long as we have that, we have good internet. And we do play our video games. We love the outdoors, but we always also love our video games. And that leads me to the last thing. I recommend a Nintendo Switch. It's almost like you're hooked to Steam. There's tons of simulation games. There's a thing where if you pay $80 a year on the family plan
Mhm.
for Nintendo, you get like not all of them, but a good amount of like N64, NES, Nintendo games. If you have the
Game
two,
Boy.
it's the GameCube, and then Game Boy, and yeah, so you get access to a bunch of those, and we're talking good ones like GoldenEye, Jet Force Gemini, all of that stuff. And you can, if you're on your batteries and you're in like a spot where it's dry camping, you can plug it to charge USB. But if you have power, you can also plug it into the base and put it on your TV and it acts as a full console.
And it charges while doing that.
It charges while doing that, yeah. And then you also get controller options. Like you can actually get a controller or you can get the little separator to put the pieces on so it acts as a temporary controller. I recommend that one. We have all our other games with us, but that has been amazing.
Well, and you get a good amount of console games on it too.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna find yourself wanting. And then projector is pretty good because then if you can only have one TV and you want to play with your significant other, projector screen and just throw it up there. It can plug in HDMI to your system, and now you're both playing together online.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was about everything.
That's the update. This is probably the longest video I think we've done so far.
If you guys
It's
have any
16
other
minutes.
questions, though, let us know and we'll try and address them as we can.
And then as you can see, this will be on YouTube. So our YouTube is Cross Country Celts, all C's. We also have an Instagram, which I think is the same, Cross Country Celts. And then, or at CC Celts, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have pictures on there. We've got videos already up. We're going to try to post a little more. I am going to get the chess thing so that, as long as I'm not going against any laws and we are able to ask permission and get permission, I'm going to start recording, like doing the daily jobs around the campsite.
A little bit of what we're doing each day.
Exactly. And then we'll be able to do interviews either way. So we'll try to do these interviews. When we take a trip, we'll do videos. When we go salmon fishing, we will definitely be putting you guys on the camera for that. Because yes. And that's pretty much it. You can't just up and do this. I will be honest with you. You can't just up and do this. RVs cost a lot of money and you have to have nicer ones. If you have buses, it's harder to get a spot.
Just in general.
Yeah, and like we had our Dodge Durango that was it was 7550 was the towing capacity, and our trailer wet was 3850.
Plus all our gear.
Plus all our gear, so about 4,000 pounds. And 4,000 pounds with a capacity of 7550, our Durango was having issues.
Yeah.
My Ram is over 9,000 pounds, and so it tows it no problem. But just keep in mind when you get a towing capacity for your vehicle, it still has to tow itself.
Well, you have to take payload into account as
exactly.
well, yeah.
So it's not exactly that simple, and for what you're looking for, there is issues. And if you do it, please get a sway bar system. I'm telling you, it makes the whole ride just amazing. But like I said, we sold our house to do this.
Yep.
We sold our house. We still have money in savings. We stayed close to our list, and we're getting a job.
We were lucky enough to have a trailer before we sold the house.
Yeah, weirdly enough, we didn't even plan on it, but it worked. We've been in the trailer for almost 4 months now, and we do fine. I mean, we only have one bed in here because the settee comes down. We'll do a
tour
at some point
once it's cleaned up.
Yeah, it's not very dirty. I
Just a
actually
mess.
cleaned a lot last night.
You
But
did.
it's we'll do a tour of kind of like just showing the vehicles with the RV, even though you guys have probably seen the pictures on Instagram. And then we'll do a tour video because people love that. And then I'll also do a video to explain how we set up the sway bar system. My dad helped me out. He did amazing with it. He broke some of my bolts, but he paid for the new ones.
He was trying to keep us here.
Yeah, he's trying to keep us here. But we'll do a video of that too to show you guys how to set that up without doing all the crazy RV stuff. We want to do videos not to get money from YouTube. We want to do videos to help families see what we're doing,
Keep you
give
guys
them a little
updated.
bit of peace of mind, keep you updated, and then also we want to just give you guys the truth. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. You watch all these people online, and just sometimes it seems like, oh, just drop everything. You can do it. And it's like, no, it takes some stuff.
It
like,
does.
you cannot just do that. Anyway, that's all we got for you guys. We love you all, and thanks for supporting us so far.
Thank you guys.